खड़गे साहब, आपका स्वागत है। और बाकी आगे आगे विधिवत स्वागत करने के लिए मैं विशाल गाला जी को इनवाइट करता हूँ। प्लीज वेलकम विशाल गाला।
Thank you, Sunil ji. I welcome everyone in today's session, which is on exam supply under GST. To take this session, we are with us here the Dilip Phadke sir. Here Dilip Phadke ji is a practicing for last 44 years in the field of GST, sales tax, income tax, and project finance. He is co-author of Commentary of MVAT Act 2002, published by Maharashtra Sales Tax News. He is also co-author of Handbook and Practice Manual of GST. He has written articles in Chamber Journal of LBT of Chamber of Tax Consultant and Sales Tax Review published by Sales Tax Practitioner Association. He was a professor and head of the Accounts Department of Lala Lajpat Rai College for 35 years up to 2012. He was chairman of Board of Studies in Accountancy, Mumbai University in 2010-11. He is a speaker and resource person at study circle, meeting, conference, and workshop of Institute of Chartered Accountancy and Bombay Chartered Accountants Society. He has delivered lectures on VAT, GST, and issues in VAT to the sales tax officers at Palghar, Nanasopala, and Bhinder. Now I welcome Sri Dilip Phadke sir to take the charge.
नमस्कार सुनील भाई, विशाल जी, रमेश प्रभु जी, किरण जी। आज का जो टॉपिक है एग्जाम सप्लाई. व्हाट इज एग्जाम सप्लाई? फर्स्ट, whether the government has got power to give exemption under GST. If you look at section 11, there are two subsections which say that the government can exempt. What is condition? The exemption should be given in public interest. So if it is in the public interest, on the recommendations of the council, government can take out a notification. By notification, they have got two options. They can exempt generally, that is without condition. They can exempt the supply subject to certain conditions, which will be notified in the notification. If you follow those conditions, your supply will be exempt. So that is given in subsection 1. Subsection 2 says that कि अगर एखादी पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन आ गई है और वो सिचुएशन में पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट में इट इज नेसेसरी टू एग्जम्प्ट सर्टन थिंग्स फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर पीरियड, then by a special order, government can exempt the particular supply. So they can prescribe the time limit for which the supply will be exempted. They can also prescribe the nature, exceptional nature because of which they are exempting it, and they will mention, if they want to give conditional exemption, the rate of tax which will be applicable. So according to these two subsections, subsection 1, it is a general power for giving the exemption, and subsection 2 is a special power to give the exemption by a special order. So that is section 11. Now there is an explanation that where an exemption in respect of goods and or services, whenever I have written and or services, it means goods, services, or both, from the whole or part of the tax leviable thereon has been granted absolutely, the registered person supplying such goods or services both shall not collect the tax in excess of the effective rate on such supply of goods and or services. So अगर exemption में दिया है कि the tax charge should be 5% or it should be nil, then the supplier should not charge the tax more than that. So that is the explanation given in section 11. Now let us go further. Now I was speaking about supply. Now the supply, if we want to understand, it is divided into 5 categories. First category is taxable supply. Now taxable supply is defined under section 108, clause 108 of section 2. That is definitions. So clause 108 says that taxable supply means a supply of the goods or services or both which is leviable to tax under this act. सो जो चीज के ऊपर टैक्स लगता है उसको बोला जाएगा टैक्सेबल सप्लाई. नॉन टैक्सेबल सप्लाई is given in clause 78 of section 2. It says that it means a supply of goods or services or both which is not leviable to tax under this act or IGST act. So non-taxable supply is not defined in IGST act. It is defined for IGST act over here only. Exempt supply, which we are going to go into details today, is defined in section 47, clause 47. It has divided into three parts, which will be seeing it separately in next slide. Zero rated supply. Now, zero rated supply is not defined under CGST Act. It is defined under IGST Act. Under section 16, zero rated supply means export of goods or services or both, supply of goods or services or both to a special economic zone developer or special economic zone unit. So let us say that I am in Maharashtra and special economic zone is in Maharashtra. I supply the material to that particular zone unit. Then also, even if it is in Maharashtra, it will be treated as export. Then it comes to no supply. Now, what is the meaning of no supply? Now, no supply means there is a transaction of exchange, barter, or anything else. But Schedule 3 specifically states that it should not be treated as a supply. It has also given the power to the government to specify transactions which can be no supply. So that is a just brief background about the supply. Now let us go further. Now exempt supply. It is defined in clause 47 of section 2. Now how it is defined? It means a supply of the goods or services or both which attract first nil rate of tax. So the tax prescribed on it should be nil, or which may be wholly exempt from tax. That is, it should be totally exempt. Now, a particular good or service can be made exempt by the government under section 11 of CGST Act or section 6, which is replica of section 11 of IGST Act, and it also includes non-taxable supplies. So, exempt supplies include three categories. First, nil rate of tax. Second, wholly exempt from tax. And third, non-taxable supply. Abhi zero rated supply, already we have discussed the definition that it is means any following supplies of the goods, services or both, export of goods, supply of goods or services. Many a times zero rated supply is mixed with nil rate. But zero rate, remember, it is export or supply to SEZ. It is not nil rate. So whenever we say zero rate, it is export or special economic zone supply. Non-GST supply. So these supplies, they are supplies of goods, but still they are not taxable. Which are they and where they are specified? If you read section 9(1), it says that government can tax all the goods and services except supply of alcoholic liquor for human consumption. So if the liquor is for industrial consumption, then government has got power to levy the tax. But if it is for human consumption, then the government, that is central government, hasn't got the power to levy the tax on this particular item. So liquor for human consumption is treated as non-GST supply. Then who can tax it? The taxation of liquor, alcoholic liquor, can be by the state government, and generally it will be chargeable to VAT. Now section 9(2) excludes petroleum crude, high-speed diesel, motor spirit, which is known as petrol, natural gas, aviation turbine fuel, that is 5 items. It reserves the right of the government to notify the date and the tax rate at which it will be taxed by recommendation of the council. So let us go further. So once we understand that exempt supplies include nil rate of tax. So now let us see whether there is any nil rate of tax prescribed under GST under schedules. There are schedules describing various goods and services, the rate at which it is taxable. So we have to refer to the schedule. Now, the schedule should prescribe the rate as nil. It should not be 0. It should be nil. Now, if you see, there are no goods which are there which are having nil rate of tax. But there are only 2 services which are specified in notification number 11 of 2017 of June 17, which is amended from time to time. Originally, they were not there. It is given in serial number 16 and serial number 24. First is services by the government, state government, union territory government, local authority government, governmental authority or government entity by way of lease of land. So उसके ऊपर टैक्स नहीं लगेगा because it is nil. Supply of land or undivided share of land by way of lease or sublease, where such supply is a part of composite supply of construction of flat, etc. Whenever I written etc., I have not taken it up fully. I have taken only what is necessary for us to discuss. So SAC code for this is 9972. That is service code. If it is goods, we call it as SHN. Then 24 serial number, SAC code 9986 says support services to the agriculture, forestry, fishing, animal husbandry are also nil rate. Now, what is the meaning of support services? Support services to agriculture means services relating to cultivation of plant, rearing of live form, animal, except the rearing of horses for food, fiber, fuel, raw material, or any other similar product or agricultural produce. Now, suppose if there is a mill which is converting the raw rice into finished rice, it is giving service for the purpose of food. They are given exemption for everything. That is agriculture separately. Now over here, I have mentioned only about agriculture. In agriculture also there are up to F. Similarly, there are for forestry separately mentioned. Fishing there is separately mentioned. Animal husbandry also it is mentioned separately. So this is nil rate of tax for the purpose of GST. Now once we complete first part, nil rate. Now let us go to the exempted goods. Now it is prescribed under section 11.1. It is not prescribed under 11.2, which is a special circumstance. Now let us say, for the purpose of COVID, government wants to exempt certain thing. Then it will not do under 11.1. It will do under 11.2 by a special order. Now, why it is not doing and everything we will discuss if we will get time afterwards. Now, wholly exempt goods means what? These are the goods which are taxable actually, but they are exempt because of the notification number 2 of 17 rate dated 28 July 17. As per requirement, government deletes certain products from exemption list. They add certain product to the exemption list. So latest tally is 153 items under that notification. Now generally if you try to see which are the goods which are falling under this, they are generally daily necessities because it should be in public interest. Live things, important for health or from viewpoint of the government. Some of the examples which I have given, I have summarized it. So this particular screen might be containing 70 items out of 153. So live animal, bird, fish, or their meat or eggs, fresh, chilled or dry. So this can be about 15 categories given over there. Similarly, fresh fruits, flowers or vegetables. Fresh, chilled but not cooked. Milk, buttermilk, lassi, paneer, fresh or chilled but no preservative should be there. All types of nuts like walnut, almond, there are many nuts which we know. They should be fresh. It can be shelled or it can be peeled. But it should not be roasted, it should not be salted. Grain like wheat, rice, maize, barley, etc. or their flour. Seeds like soya, linseed, groundnut, sunflower, etc. Plants and parts of plant means paid, including seed and fruit, contraceptives, rakhi, papad, bread, prasad, that is our whatever we offer to God, water, nira, tadi, salt, electricity, water, manure. So there are so many items which are exempt under notification number 2. But remember one thing, whatever I have given you over here, suppose the rice is sold under a brand name, then this exemption will be lost. If it is sold in a sealed container, again it will be going out of the. So all these conditions are there in this notification, that it should not be branded, it should not be sold under a packing, etc., etc. So when you will read the notification, you will be able to understand which are the products and what are the conditions which are laid down for making them exempt. Now services are under notification number 12 of 17 rate, amended from time to time. Now remember one thing, there are nearly 116 services, 82 main and 34 ABCD. So totally 116 services which are exempt from tax. Central government can exempt it under the provisions of 11.1, 15.5 or 148. Goods also they can do it under these sections. Under the CGST Act, they can prescribe the conditions also. But more important is, it should be in public interest. So let us see some of the services. I'll describe them in few words, because whatever are conditions and all that, I have not written it over here. Renting of residential dwelling for residents. So if you give your flat for commercial use, then this exemption is lost. Interest other than credit card. Charitable activity by an entity registered under section 12 AA of Income Tax Act. But it should be charitable activity. Transfer of going concern as a whole or independent part thereof. Let us say I am a proprietor. I convert my proprietorship into private limited company. I transfer my whole business to the private limited company. It will fall under this category. And then there will not be any tax. That particular transaction will be exempt. Pure services to the government, panchayat, etc. by way of any activity in relation to any function under Article 243G or 243W of the Constitution. Services by government, including state, union territory, or central government, government authorities, department like municipality, etc. Composite supply of the goods and services in which the value of supply of the goods constitute not more than 25% of the value. तो अगर आप 20 कंपोजिट सप्लाई कर रहे हो गवर्नमेंट को, 25% ओनली इज द गुड्स और लेसर देन दैट, देन इट विल बी कमिंग अंडर एग्जाम सप्लाई. ट्रांसमिशन और डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. अभी जब हम लोग गुड्स देखे थे तो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इज अंडर दैट, that is goods. But transmission or distribution of electricity is exempt under services. Pure labor contract for construction, erection, commissioning or installation of original works pertaining to a single residential unit. यानी अगर आपको बंगलो बांधना है और आपने लेबर कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को अपॉइंट किया तो उसके ऊपर आपको टैक्स लगाना नहीं है या वो आपको लगाएगा नहीं. Grants, that is government gives you grants, no tax. Old age homes services, fair price shop services, post office services, insurance services, religious ceremony, renting of the premises of the religious body, place meant for general public, hotel accommodation rent less than 1,000, transport of goods by road, inland waterways other than goods transport agency or courier, TDR on sale of flat for residence by a developer. So TDR, if it is for commercial, it will be taxable. You don't sell the flats, it will be taxable. Healthcare services, so hospital ki services, doctor ki services, all are healthcare services, they are exempt. So over here, we should know what is healthcare service to become it exempt. Educational services. So कौन सी educational services are exempt? वो आपको वो notification में जाएंगे तो आपको मालूम पड़ेगा कि if it is the curriculum is given by the university, prescribed by the university, for which they are allowing certain colleges to take up the training, then those educational services जो कोर्स के लिए लगती है उसके ऊपर टैक्स नहीं लगेगा. So in general you will see that these are the exempt services which are given under notification number 12. So that completes our. Now there are certain notifications which exempt certain supplies by certain particular type of suppliers. So Canteen Store Department of Defense, generally it is called as CSD, is exempt from charging tax on the supplies made by it. So if it supplies the goods to units run by canteen or it supplies the goods to authorized customers, तो अगर उसने कोई कर्नल को या कमांडर को या सिपाही को मटेरियल बेचा तो उसको टैक्स लगाना नहीं है. सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स बाय यूनिट रन बाय कैंटीन स्टोर टू ऑथराइज कस्टमर. सो ये तीन कैटेगरीज ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शंस ऑफ सप्लाई बाय सीएसडी यूनिट्स will not be taxable. They are exempt from tax. Now this is particularly applicable for section 9(4) when it was there, that is October 2012. That is, if you are a second-hand goods dealer, you have to pay the tax only on the margin. That is, let us say if your cost is 5,000 and you sell that particular product by refurnishing or something, doing repairs or etc. for let us say 7,000. Then in that case, what will happen? Have you to charge tax on 7,000? Answer is no. You have to charge tax on only 2,000, which is the difference. That is as per Rule 32, Sub Rule 5. But it was necessary to pay tax under section 9(4) on the goods purchased if they are purchased from unregistered dealer. So what is done? By this particular circular, the RCM payable under section 9(4) is not applicable if the goods are purchased from URD by second-hand goods dealer. But now it is of no use. But if you are doing any assessment or if you are dealing with that particular time, then you should know that's why I have taken it. So that is exempt. Now let us go to the no supply, which are given in Schedule 3. Now Schedule 3 are the supplies where there is a consideration. There is a supply also. They are treated as no supply. That is, it should not be included as a supply. So there are 8 examples which are there in Schedule 3, which are not important. I'll just make reference. Services by employer and employee, by the employee to the employer. So if employee gives any service to the employer, it is not taxable. Services by the court, tribunal established under any law for the time being in force. The functions performed by MP, MLAs, Panchayat, so all political persons, or the directors of the body established by the central government, or chairperson, or a member, or a director of such body corporates. Also, if there is no, it will not be treated as a supply. Services of funeral, so they are exempted. जो अपन सेरेमनी करते हैं, रिचुअल्स करते हैं, उसके ऊपर, और ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ डिसीज्ड, तो एम्बुलेंस का चार्ज लगेगा, उसके ऊपर टैक्स नहीं लगेगा. सेल ऑफ लैंड सब्जेक्ट टू क्लॉज बी ऑफ पैराग्राफ 5 of schedule 2, that is under construction building. So if you sell complete building which is ready for occupation, or you sell land, then it will not be treated as a supply at all. Actionable claim, लेकिन actionable claim में 3 चीज taxable है. Otherwise, actionable claims are not taxable. So what are the 3 things on which tax is chargeable? एक lottery, betting and gambling. तो अगर आपको रेस कोर्स पे जाना है तो it will be taxable. Supply of goods from a place in a non-taxable territory to another place in non-taxable territory. But over here you have to keep it in mind that the goods should move, let us say from UK, and you have done that particular deal. Then in that case, it will not be treated as a supply within India. There are certain conditions by which are being prescribed by notification. Supply of a warehouse goods to any person before clearance for home consumption. तो आपने बाहर से goods import किए and you have kept them into the bonded warehouse. If you sell it to X and X sell it to Y, it is not cleared for home consumption. Then these 2 transactions, that is your sale to X, X sale to Y, will not be taxable. If Y clears it, he will have to pay the import tax, that is IGST. Supply of goods by consignee to any other person by endorsement, so we call it as IC sale. While the goods are in transit, if you endorse the BT or shipping bill or airway bill, then it is to be treated as sale in transit, and that particular transaction will not be taxable. Which are the places? So the 3 categories of exempt supply I have discussed. First, nil rate. Second, exempted. And third, non-GST supplies. Now, let us go to the registration. What is the importance of exempt under registration? Section 22(1). I'll read it word by word. Every supplier shall be liable to be registered under this act in the state from where he makes a supply of taxable goods of 40 lakhs or services of 20 lakhs. Then combination, there are other things which you have to see. If his aggregate turnover does not exceed the limit which I told you. Now, if you read the definition under clause 6 of aggregate turnover, it says, means the aggregate value of all taxable supplies, exempt supplies, export of goods or services or both, and interstate supplies of the person having same PAN to be computed on all India basis, but exclude the taxes under GST. So exempt supplies even if there is no tax payable on these supplies, what is happening? You have to pay the tax under this particular, you are not to pay the tax, but for the purpose of calculating 20 lakhs rupees or 40 lakhs rupees, you have to include all these supplies which are exempt, either of goods or services, in aggregate turnover. Now there is an explanation given कि अगर आप सिर्फ एक्सक्लूसिव गुड्स और सर्विसेज में डील करते हो तो it is not necessary for you to take registration under section 22. अभी सेक्शन 23 में क्या बोला गया है? Any person engaged exclusively in the business of supplying goods or services both that are not liable to tax wholly exempt from tax under this act. तो समझो आप कुछ मटेरियल में प्रोविजंस पे डील कर रहे हो, आपका टर्नओवर करोड़ों में है, बाकी आप कुछ भी सेल नहीं करते हो, परचेस नहीं है, परचेस आप कुछ भी करो, टैक्सेबल करो, लेकिन आप सेल नहीं कर रहे हो, सेल आप सिर्फ एग्जम्प्ट मटेरियल का कर रहे हो या सर्विसेज का कर रहे हो, तो आपको रजिस्ट्रेशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. A person shall be considered, explanation to section 22, a person shall be considered to be engaged exclusively in the supply of goods even if he is engaged in exempt supply of services provided by way of extending deposit, loans or advances in so far as consideration represented by interest or discount. ये ध्यान में रखिए, अगर आपने डिपॉजिट एक्सटेंड किया है तो वो तो ट्रांजैक्शन है, लेकिन इट इज सप्लाई ऑफ मनी, लोन सप्लाई ऑफ मनी, advances supply of money, then in that case that should not be taken into consideration for the purpose of calculating aggregate turnover. लेकिन इंटरेस्ट अगर आपको मिला या आपने दिया तो एग्रीगेट टर्नओवर में आएगा क्या? आंसर इज यस, बिकॉज दैट इज अ सप्लाई. नाउ लेट अस टेक AAR, which is of Gujarat AAR. The name of the case is Sri Savai Manoharlal Rathi. It was decided on April 20th, 19. That is 19th of April 20. Now, I'll read it word by word. For the purpose of calculating threshold limit of 20 lakhs for obtaining registration under GST, along with value of taxable supplies of renting of immovable property, value of exempted interest income earned by way of extending deposit in PPF and saving bank account, and loan and advances given to family and freight is required to be aggregated. अभी ये तो AR है. This is applicable only to Rathi who has gone for it. Whether it is applicable to us, we'll have to do certain planning so that that interest will not be included into exempt category. Now let us go to rule 7, which is applicable to composition dealers. Now composition dealer are divided into 3 categories. First is manufacturers. और अगर 1.5 crore 1.5 करोड़ है तो वो कंपोजिशन के अंडर जा रहे हैं तो उनको टैक्स लगेगा सिर्फ 0.5%. लेकिन उसके बाद देखो जो मैंने बोल्ड में किया है, ऑफ द टर्नओवर, इसका मतलब क्या हो गया कि अगर वो एग्जम्प्ट गुड्स में भी टर्नओवर है उनका, it will be also taxable at 0.5% under CGST, 0.5% under SGST, that is 1%. लेकिन सेकंड कैटेगरी ऑफ कंपोजिशन डीलर, ट्रेडर्स, उनके लिए भी 1.5 करोड़ का उसका रेट क्या है? 0.5%. लेकिन उसके बाद देखो बोल्ड में क्या लिखा है? टर्नओवर ऑफ टैक्सेबल सप्लाईज. व्हाट डज इट मीन? कि अगर वो एग्जाम गुड सप्लाई करते हो, अभी समझो एक किराना माल का दुकान है, जनरल प्रोविजन स्टोर है, उसमें वो बाकी भी चीजें बेचते हैं, तो जो किराना माल जो एग्जम्प्ट है उसके ऊपर उनको टैक्स नहीं भरना है 0.5%, यानी 1% टोटल. लेकिन बाकी का जो प्रोडक्ट वो बेच रहे उसके ऊपर उनको 1% टैक्स भरना पड़ेगा। अभी अगर एग्जाम मटेरियल आप 50 लाख का भेज रहे हो ट्रांसपोर्ट से, तो भी आपको ई वे बिल बनाने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि सेक्शन क्या बोलता है, रूल्स क्या बोलते हैं कि इफ टैक्सेबल गुड्स आर सेंट बाय अ ट्रांसपोर्ट और मोटराइज व्हीकल, तो एग्जाम गुड्स ऑन विच देयर इज नो टैक्स अगर आप भेज रहे हो तो ई वे बिल की जरूरत नहीं है। लेकिन कुछ मटेरियल टैक्सेबल है, कुछ एग्जाम्ड है, तो प्रिकॉशन लेना जरूरी है। नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू आईटीसी, सो दैट वाज द इंपॉर्टेंस रिगार्डिंग द रजिस्ट्रेशन। नाउ आईटीसी में क्या दिया गया है विच इज इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम द व्यू पॉइंट ऑफ exemption. ITC partly used for business and partly used for other purposes. ITC यानी input tax credit will be available only for business activity. जो आप नॉन बिजनेस समझो, अभी मेरा मोबाइल आई एम यूजिंग इट फॉर माय पर्सनल यूज और उसके ऊपर मैंने क्रेडिट ले लिया, तो जो मेरा पर्सनल यूज है उसके ऊपर वो मेरे को क्रेडिट मिलेगा नहीं। आपका जो बिजनेस है वो बिजनेस पार्टली टैक्सेबल है, पार्टली एग्जम्प्ट है, तो क्या हो जाएगा, दिस इज गिवन इन सेक्शन 17(2). 3 and 4 I am not going to discuss. So 1 was exclusively business. If you are doing business of partly taxable and partly exempt, then you will get the ITC proportionately. अगर समझो आपका 2 लाख रुपया धंधा एक महीने में टैक्सेबल है और 1 लाख रुपया धंधा एग्जम्प्ट है, तो आपको 1/3 का आईटीसी मिलेगा नहीं, 1/3 आईटीसी मिलेगा नहीं, 2/3 मिलेगा। दैट इज गिवन टू यू इन सेक्शन 17(2). नाउ एग्जाम सप्लाईज, ये रेशियो कैलकुलेट करने के लिए, प्रोपोर्शन कैलकुलेट करने के लिए कौन सा पकड़ने का, उसमें ऐसा दिया है, एग्जम्प्टेड सप्लाईज इंक्लूड रिसिपिएंट लायबल टू पे अंडर आरसीएम, यानी जीटीए सर्विसेज, स्पेशली इसमें ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि जीटीए सर्विसेज इफ दे आर सप्लाइंग द सर्विसेज अंडर रिवर्स चार्ज, then their turnover is treated as exempt supplies. Transaction in securities, land and building, subject to our subsection 5. Now, if you read section 16(2) of IGST Act, it says that subject to provisions of subsection 17(5), that is block credit of CGST Act, ITC may be availed for making zero-rated supplies, notwithstanding that sub-supplies may be exempt supply. इसका मतलब क्या हो गया कि अगर आप एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हो exempt supply, तो आप 2 में पढ़ोगे क्या, सब रूल 2, सॉरी सबसेक्शन 2 में नहीं, उसमें वो पकड़ा जाएगा कि it is taxable, that is ITC is available on that. So this is basically the section which says that you will be entitled for ITC on exempt material provided you export it or sell it to, now this is exempt supply. I am as the time it is already 9 o'clock. There are 36 slides. I am only on 15. So I will go further. There are 3 important examples which I want to discuss with you. So how you can determine the amount to be reversed? Because क्या होता है 3B में हम लोग total ITC which is available in the month लिख देते हैं, तो अभी उसमें से जो एग्जाम के लिए है वो ITC अपने को रिवर्स करने का रहता है अंडर रूल 42। तो उसके लिए मैंने एक एग्जाम्पल लिया है। समझो टोटल आईटीसी मेरा 50,000 था, उसमें से मैंने एक्सक्लूसिवली फॉर नॉन बिजनेस पर्पज 5,000 रुपया क्या ITC है, whether I'll get it, answer is no. Subsection 1, I have ITC of 10,000 which is relating to exam supply, will I get it? Answer is no. Then that particular 10,000 also it will not be available. 17.5 block credit is 2,000, इसका भी मेरे को मिलेगा नहीं. ITC which is exclusively for business, section 17.1 fully available. और वो महीने में मेरा टर्नओवर है 20 लाख, 5 लाख रुपया एग्जाम सप्लाई, टोटल टर्नओवर यानी इंक्लूडिंग 5 लाख. सो 15 लाख टैक्सेबल, 5 लाख रुपया एग्जाम, ऐसा मेरा टर्नओवर है. तो लेट अस गो फर्दर. द आंसर मैंने ऑलरेडी बोल दिया, 5,000, 10,000, 2,000 आपको मिलेगा नहीं. तो 50,000 में से 17,000 रुपए का आपको क्रेडिट मिलने वाला नहीं है. 3B में आपको वो रिवर्स करना है. 25,000 एक्सक्लूसिवली फॉर बिजनेस है. तो टोटल 50 में से 17,000 और 25,000 माइनस करो, 8,000 बच गया. 8,000 रुपया कॉमन क्रेडिट. कॉमन क्रेडिट यानी क्या? जो क्रेडिट दोनों एक्टिविटीज के लिए यूज किया गया है, इनपुट्स एंड इनपुट सर्विसेज, ऑफ दिस 8,000 आर यूज फॉर टैक्सेबल एज वेल एज एग्जाम. अभी हम लोग क्या करेंगे? हम लोग ये करेंगे कि 8,000 को हम लोग 20,000 से डिवाइड करेंगे, 5,000 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, तो आंसर आएगा 2,000. 2,000 रुपया is proportionate credit used by me from the common credit for exam supplies. Out of 8,000, I am using 2,000. 1/4 will be not available to me. I have to reverse it. जो मैंने नॉन बिजनेस एक्टिविटी किया है उसके लिए अकॉर्डिंग टू रूल 42(1)(a) मेरे को 5% कॉमन क्रेडिट का डिसअलाउ करना है. तो वो 5% हो गया 400 रुपया 8,000 का, वो भी मेरे को रिवर्स करना है. तो 8,000 में से 2,400 माइनस किया तो व्हाट विल बी द ITC अलाउड? 5,600. तो पहले आपने देखा कि इधर मेरे को कितना अवेलेबल है? 25,000 प्लस अभी 5,600. तो वो महीने में मेरे को कितना क्रेडिट मिलेगा? 30,600. सो दिस इज हाउ यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट इट. अभी आप बोलेंगे मेरे को तो मंथली रिटर्न भरने का रहता है, तो क्या करेंगे? क्योंकि मेरा प्रोपोर्शन तो मंथली चेंज होते जाएगा. तो इन दैट केस एवरी मंथ यू डू दिस कैलकुलेशंस. टेक द क्रेडिट विच इज अवेलेबल टू यू. एट द एंड ऑफ द ईयर you will come to know your annual figures. Up to September, you can calculate total ITC of the annual, that is 12 महीने का. उसमें से आप एनुअल फिगर एग्जम्प्ट एंड टैक्सेबल का ले लो और उसका प्रोपोर्शन निकाल के. अभी क्या हो जाने वाला है कि जो आपने मंथली का निकाला और ये एनुअल निकाला, उसमें फर्क हो सकता है. समझो एनुअल के मुताबिक आपने 1 करोड़ का क्रेडिट लिया था, सॉरी मंथली के मुताबिक आपने 12 महीने में 1 करोड़ का क्रेडिट लिया, लेकिन एनुअल का रेशियो आपने जब अप्लाई किया तो लेट अस से यू आर एंटाइटल्ड फॉर 98 lakhs. देन इन दैट केस 2 lakhs क्रेडिट यू हैव टेकन मोर. यू कैन रिवर्स इट अप टू सितंबर, लेकिन अप्रैल से जब तक आप रिवर्स करते हो तब तक आपको इंटरेस्ट भरना है. अभी समझो उल्टी केस ले लो कि 1 करोड़ मैंने मंथली में ले लिया, लेकिन एनुअल में मेरा 1 करोड़ 1 लाख आ गया. तो अभी 1 लाख विच इज मोर अवेलेबल टू मी एज पर एनुअल कैलकुलेशन, आई कैन एड इट टू द ITC अवेलेबल इन द मंथ ऑफ अप्रैल टू सितंबर. So that is how you have to do the calculations. Now, अगर मैं इनपुट एंड इनपुट सर्विसेज टैक्सेबल एंड एग्जाम के लिए यूज करता हूं, वैसे ही मैं कैपिटल गुड्स भी टैक्सेबल एंड एग्जाम के लिए यूज कर सकता हूं। तो उसका एक अपन एग्जाम्पल ले लेंगे। उसका सॉल्यूशन अपने को देखना है रूल 43 में। अभी इसमें मैंने दो मशीनरी ली है। एक मशीनरी 12 अप्रैल 2018 को खरीदी किया था 20 लाख रुपया, IGST 3,60,000 रुपया, टोटल प्राइस था मेरा 23,70,000 रुपया। तो प्लांट एंड मशीनरी को मैंने डेबिट किया 20 लाख कभी अप्रैल महीने में, 3,60,000 मैंने ITC ले लिया अप्रैल महीने में। अभी मई महीने में मैंने 10 लाख का मशीनरी लिया, 1,80,000 का क्रेडिट मेरे को अवेलेबल है मई में। टोटल मेरी कीमत है 11,80,000 मशीनरी की। अभी वो महीने में मेरा रेशियो मैंने वही रखा है 20 लाख 5 लाख। वो टाइम ITC on other plant and machinery which is with you is for that particular month. How to calculate it, I'll be explaining it to you. वो महीने का ITC on capital goods यूज एक्सक्लूसिवली फॉर नॉन बिजनेस 10,000 है। आपको वो ITC का क्रेडिट मिलेगा क्या? आंसर इज नो। ITC on capital goods यूज एक्सक्लूसिवली फॉर एग्जाम सप्लाईज 10,000, उसका क्रेडिट भी अपने को मिलने वाला नहीं है। ITC on capital goods ओनली फॉर टैक्सेबल सप्लाईज 50,000, इसका तो अपने को पूरा का पूरा मिलेगा। अभी ये जो दो ऊपर की मशीनरी है वो कॉमन मशीनरी है। अभी मेरे को इन द मंथ ऑफ मई कितना क्रेडिट मिलेगा ये सवाल है। तो लेट अस सी हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू वर्क अपॉन इट। 10,000 मिलेगा नहीं, 10,000 यानी 20,000 मेरा गया, 50,000 मेरे को अवेलेबल है। जो 1,80,000 रुपया मैंने मई में मशीनरी खरीदी किया उसका तो मेरे को मई में मिलेगा। तो टोटल कितना हो गया? 2,30,000। अभी ये जो दो मशीनरी है वो कॉमन है, यानी टैक्सेबल के लिए भी यूज होती है और एग्जाम के लिए भी यूज होती है। अभी उसका मैं रिवर्सल कैसे करूं? तो जो मेरा टैक्स एलिमेंट है, लाइफ ऑफ द मशीनरी इज ट्रीटेड एज 60 मंथ्स। तो अभी इधर मेरा जो ITC है जो अप्रैल में लिया था मैंने वो 3,60,000 था, मई में मैंने लिया 1,80,000। तो एक महीने का कितना हो गया? अगर मैं इसको 60 से डिवाइड करूं और इसको भी 60 से डिवाइड करूं तो मेरा क्रेडिट आ जाएगा 9,000, यानी 3,60,000 प्लस 1,80,000, 60 महीने का उम्र उनका। I can take it. Then in that case what will happen? I will take 9,000 as common ITC on the capital goods. अभी वो 9,000 I will divide it by 20 lakhs multiplied by 5 lakhs. So 2,250 is attributable to exam supply. तो मेरे को बाकी का जो अमाउंट है उसका क्रेडिट मिलने वाला है। अभी ये 9,000 मैंने इधर क्यों वापस नहीं ऐड किया? क्योंकि 1,80,000 में ऑलरेडी वो इंक्लूडेड है और अप्रैल में जो मैंने 3,60,000 लिया था वो ऑलरेडी मैंने लिया है। तो 9,000 में से मेरा एग्जाम के लिए कितना है वो मेरे को देखना है। तो वो आ गया 2,250। तो मेरे को मई में कैपिटल गुड्स के ऊपर कितना ITC मिलेगा? 2,27,750। नाउ कॉमन गुड्स, कैपिटल गुड्स, इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट इन स्पेशल सर्कमस्टेंसेस। ये जो दो मैंने सेक्शन लिए हैं, सेक्शन 18 सबसेक्शन 1 and section 18 subsection 4 are relating to exam supplies. समझो सबसेक्शन 1D क्या बोलता है? सबसेक्शन 1D बोलता है कि वेयर द एग्जाम सप्लाई गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज आर बोथ बाय रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन बिकम्स टैक्सेबल सप्लाई। यानी मैं एग्जाम गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज में डील कर रहा था, गवर्नमेंट ने नोटिफिकेशन निकाला, उनका एग्जाम्पशन निकाल डाला एंड दे बिकेम टैक्सेबल। तो वो टाइम मेरे पास जो मटेरियल होगा, रॉ मटेरियल, सेमी फिनिश्ड, फिनिश्ड एंड कैपिटल गुड्स, उसका जो क्रेडिट है वो मेरे को 17(1) में मिला था क्या? नहीं मिला था। 17(2) में मिला था क्या? नहीं मिला था। तो अभी मैं टैक्सेबल बन गया, तो उसका क्या करने का? तो ये जो स्टॉक ऑन द डेट ऑफ कन्वर्जन यानी बिकमिंग टैक्सेबल है, वो उसमें जो टैक्स एलिमेंट है, यू कैन टेक द क्रेडिट, दैट इज सेक्शन 18(1)D। अभी इसमें क्या प्रोविजन दिया हुआ है कि क्रेडिट ऑफ द कैपिटल गुड्स शैल बी रिड्यूस्ड बाय सच परसेंटेज पॉइंट्स एज मे बी प्रिस्क्राइब्ड। तो वो प्रिस्क्राइब कौन सा है? महीने का डिवाइडेड बाय 60। सो वॉट एवर इज ITC, अगर समझो आपने 10 महीना मशीनरी यूज किया है, तो अभी 50 महीना आप और यूज करने वाले हो, तो आपको 50 महीने का क्रेडिट आप आपके ITC को ऐड कर सकते हो, क्योंकि आपका एग्जम्प्ट सप्लाई टैक्सेबल बन गया। अभी लेट अस सी 18(4), ये उल्टी केस है। उल्टी केस में क्या हो गया कि पहले आप टैक्सेबल में थे, गवर्नमेंट ने एक नोटिफिकेशन निकाला और वो मटेरियल को एग्जाम कर डाला। तो अभी क्या करोगे आप? आपको जो क्रेडिट है वो क्रेडिट आपको रिवर्स करना पड़ेगा। जो आपके स्टॉक ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर डे आपके पास होगा, रॉ मटेरियल, सेमी फिनिश गुड्स, फिनिश गुड्स एज वेल एज कैपिटल गुड्स, कैसे करने का वो आपको मैंने पहले ऑलरेडी बता दिया है। सो वो आपको रिवर्स करना है फ्रॉम आवर कैश इलेक्ट्रॉनिक क्रेडिट लेजर। और अगर कैश लेजर में, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक क्रेडिट लेजर और कैश लेजर, इसमें से आपको वो रिवर्स करना है। अगर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक क्रेडिट लेजर में आप इतना बैलेंस नहीं है, देन व्हाट विल हैपन? देन इन दैट केस you will have to pay cash. Now, whenever this thing happens, within 30 days, to become eligible for ITC, file form number GST ITC 01, specifying input in stock, semi-finished goods, finished goods and capital goods. So, ये आपको करना है। अगर आपका टोटल क्रेडिट इसके कारण, चेंज ओवर के कारण आपने जो लिया वो 2 लाख के ऊपर है, तो आपको CA का या कॉस्ट अकाउंटेंट का सर्टिफिकेट लेना जरूरी है। ITC claim shall be verified with corresponding details furnished by the corresponding supplier in form number GSTR 1 और in form number GSTR 4। अभी ये जो एग्जाम्पल मैंने लिया है कि एग्जाम में से आप टैक्सेबल हो गए और आपके पास मशीनरी थी, तो हाउ मच यू विल रिवर्स? तो फर्स्ट मशीनरी में मेरे 3 महीने बाकी है और दूसरे मशीनरी में मेरे 20 महीने बाकी है, तो मैं क्या करूंगा? कितना रिवर्स करूंगा? 90 डिवाइडेड बाय 60 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 3 एंड 54 डिवाइडेड बाय 60 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 20, आई विल रिवर्स 2700 and 30,000। अगर मेरे पास क्रेडिट 30,000 है तो 2,700 मेरे को कैश लेजर में से भरना पड़ेगा। अगर मेरे पास 50,000 है ITC क्रेडिट, लेकिन आपने रिवर्स कितना किया? 32,700, 17,300 आपके पास ज्यादा है, what will happen? Then it will not be available to you, it will lapse. Now let us take certain ARs which are important, as it is they are not binding, but what is the viewpoint of the government? I have discussed about 12 ARs. Now, organizers, how much time I can take it further? Because 1 hour is over. So, SPFL Uttar Pradesh 18(4)19, where the applicant, I'll just read it. you can get them afterwards. Where the appellant, a stockbroker, is engaged in the business of purchasing and selling of shares on behalf of client on stock exchange platform, it is not liable to pay GST on delayed payment charges collected from clients. इसका कारण है कि वो सिक्योरिटीज के ऊपर लग गया और सिक्योरिटीज के ऊपर टैक्स नहीं है. दे आर नॉट गुड्स और सर्विसेज. पेसेज सिंटेक्स महाराष्ट्र 13919. No GST is applicable on sale or purchase of duty-free import authorization as provided in serial number 122A of the notification 2 of 17 dated 28/6/17. Harit Buddhi Raja, where the appellant is engaged in supply of field sliced pineapple put up in airtight container in sugar syrup, it will be taxable under 0811 at 5%. Institute of Management, Education, I told you it is exempt. So they have given a judgment that it is exempt. Aditya Birla Retail. अभी आदित्य बिरला रिटेल ने मोर उनका ब्रांड है, मोर तो वो ब्रांड उन्होंने निकाल डाला और उनका नाम भी निकाल डाला. तो भी महाराष्ट्र ने जजमेंट दिया कि appellant still enjoys the advantage attached to the said brand name, hence not entitled to benefit of exemption notification. वैष्णो देवी होम ओनर्स वेलफेयर एसोसिएशन, ये 20 का जनवरी 20 का कर्नाटका का जजमेंट है. Where the money collected by the appellant association from its member is used to procure services and goods from third party and provide benefits of such goods or services to members of association, individual apartment owners who are members of the association are beneficiaries and contributions made by them and to be considered as consideration for services received, and exemption as per entry 77 is available only when members contribution per month amounts to 7,500. International Flower Auction Bangalore. So flower उनके वो ऑक्शनियर थे, उनको कमीशन मिलता था, तो उन्होंने बोला है कि कमीशन विल बी टैक्सेबल, फ्लावर्स आर एग्जम्प्ट, लेकिन उसके ऊपर आपको ऑक्शन में जो कमीशन मिलता है उसके ऊपर आपको टैक्स भरना पड़ेगा. सुपर वेल्थ फाइनेंशियल एंटरप्राइजेस, इधर स्ट्रीट लाइटिंग इंक्लूडिंग ऑपरेशन एंड मेंटेनेंस ऑफ सर्विस ऑफ स्ट्रीट लाइटिंग, इसके ऊपर उन्होंने बोला कि बेनिफिट ऑफ एग्जम्पशन is not available. Saraj Educational Center, इधर the boarding house services दी थी for the students. It is said that under serial 66 exemption notification is not applicable as envisaged in clause 2y. Mark space, ये सबको अभी मालूम है कि if the plots are developed into the land is developed into developed plots of land, then whatever is development done becomes taxable. Ramnath Bhimsen Charitable Trust, इधर girls hostel था, they were charging 6,000 7,000 per month to the occupant. Then it was said that it is exempt under section 9963. Then supply of purified drinking water to public in empty unsealed cans is not entitled to exemption from GST for the purpose of water. This is Water Health India. Then exempt supply, अभी अपन किधर दिखाते हैं? So this is 3B. We show it over here. Tax on outward and reverse charge inward. तो इधर आप देख सकते हो कि C में other outward supplies narrated आपको इधर दिखाना है exempt supply. GSTR 1 में you have to give all these details. Interstate supplies to registered dealers, interstate supplies to registered persons, interstate supplies to unregistered persons, intrastate supplies to unregistered persons. बाद में 9 में किधर देने का है? 9 में आपको टेबल पार्ट 2 टेबल 5 में डी के नीचे आपको एग्जम्प्टेड टर्नओवर देना है. 9C में किधर देना है? आपको टेबल 7 में पार्ट बी में कॉलम बी में आपको देना है वैल्यू ऑफ एग्जम्प्टेड नील रेटेड that is for deducting the non-taxable supplies from the total supplies. तो इधर आपको वो अमाउंट माइनस करनी है. So that is under 9C. So I have completed my lecture. This is my disclaimer. I am responsible for what I have spoken, not what you have understood. GST laws are changing, so exempt notifications are changing very fast at greater speed. Therefore, please finalize your views and opinions at your own peril before implementing it. For all your action, the person executing it should be held responsible. We have taken great care and exercised professional diligence while presenting the information to you. Please feel free to bring to our notice any error or omission that you may notice for the benefit of others in future. So thank you very much for all the organizers